Welcome to another episode of It Really Works. You're here with
Beata.
And I'm Marcus. This week's episode will be about the quality of sleep or the importance of getting sleep, which also concludes our 5-part series. This is the 5th, of course, of that series, the previous 4 being the 80-20 rule, which is about learning 20% of the most important whatever it is, in this case, learning Italian, to get you 80% of the results. The Pomodoro technique, which is all about small study segments, suggested 25 minutes in length with a 5-minute break. The third, of course, is learning by doing. So that's applying everything you learned in a real world scenario. And the fourth, which was last week's episode, is persistence. Basically pushing through, applying that consistent study time, which is often motivated, of course, by your reasoning, emotional factors, that kind of a thing. So this week's episode, we're going to go over sleep and the importance of sleep.
And get enough.
So why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sleep plays a big role in our ability to learn new information because our brain does these opportunities to remember what we learned before, to consolidate. Exactly. It's very important.
So when we go to sleep, the brain tends to take all the information from the day or from our learning, and it essentially, you could say, organizes it and makes it more, for the lack of a better description, digestible. It's something that becomes, it basically plays a part in creating those grooves, which is where a lot of that new memory is stored.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
So a good sleep is going to make a world of difference. Now, here's the thing. How much sleep is a matter of various opinion.
Exactly. But it also depends on our body, our, let's say, daily routine and how we act or react to the amount of the sleep. Because for you, I don't know, 5 hours may be enough. For me, I know for sure that I need to sleep at least 6 hours.
I used to think 5.5 was fine for me, but in all reality, I do really well with between 6.5, no more than typically 7
Did
hours.
you also know you probably noticed that when you increase, because I know that you increase a little bit the amount of the hours of sleep, don't you feel, or do you notice, or did you notice that you feel much better if you had if you increase this hour of sleep, like from 5 to
Yeah,
6?
in fact, that's exactly what I was just trying to say a moment ago. Well, so prior to my moving in with my lovely Beata here, I used to sleep around 5.5 hours of sleep. Coming with you, obviously, I get around 6.5 on average. And it is a world of difference. I do feel, first of all, much better, much more rested. And my cognitive abilities are.
When you work, you notice the improvement, no?
I do. Yeah. No, I very
Yeah.
much did.
Sharp, then the memory is more
Razor sharp.
exactly. You are able to remember more things, more
Slicing, dicing through things all day. Now, all joking aside, this is my ability to perform throughout the day, and I do a lot of creative work. Honestly, significantly better than what I was previously.
now. For me, without, if I don't have adequate sleep, I have really hard time.
Oh, I know you do. And
I
your
am
attitude
not
is just
good
wonderful. Yeah,
to
lovely.
focus on focusing on something. I have difficulties to remember if I learn something new. I I have really hard time. So it's really important for me, and I notice it all the time. So it seems like it is a thing for our brain.
It does appear to be that way. So the importance, obviously, of this 5th technique or this 5th aspect is to get good quality sleep. Now, here's the question. Now, what that is exactly, of course, you'll have to determine that, how many hours, that's really up to you. That's recommended 7 to 9. I know 6.5 works well for me. Anything beyond 7, I get a little tired. I get groggy. But the question that comes to mind for a lot of people is, how do you get a good quality sleep?
Oh, first of all, I think that the most important rule, or one of the most important rules, is go to bed at the same time
Yeah, it's a
every
big one.
night. Yeah, just establish that this is really important. I have the personal experience on that.
Why is it important?
Because you just train your body to slow down, and it allows you to be in the state of like relaxation, and you actually tell your body that you are ready to have a excellent sleep.
So every night, trusting that, of course, life doesn't interfere with that because let's face it,
Sometimes, yeah,
it
you have
does.
this we are human beings, and it can sometimes things happen. So
I know some of you with children out there, it can be a little difficult.
exactly.
So it's totally understandable. But if you can try to go to bed around roughly the same time every night, your body is conditioned to get ready for sleep.
Exactly.
So that makes it a lot easier. The other thing, of course, is you want to have a room with a relatively low temperature, if at all
Yes.
possible.
Yeah.
I know some people like to have
It should be dark also.
it should be very dark.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
know
really dark is perfect when it's really dark. So close,
that's another
have the
great point.
curtains
That's
really
another
thick, or whatever you can use just to have the room really dark.
that's another really great point. Frankly, we could do a whole episode on this alone, but the room that you go to sleep in, and I realize we're talking about ideals here. So if you can do this as much as possible, great. If not, work with what you have, of course. Try to have a room without any kind of TV in there.
Yeah,
You go to sleep
exactly.
as dark as you can.
Far away from blue lights.
Yeah, as much as humanly
Yeah.
possible. Yeah, keep it as dark as you can. I know that I have family that likes to go to sleep with the TV on,
Ah,
and frankly, I did it too many
I
years ago.
can't do this.
I did, and I have to admit when I stopped, and I stopped a while ago to be fair, but when I quit having the TV on, my quality of sleep really increased. And that was back when I was even relatively unhealthy, right? Compared to having the TV on and having it off, it's like literally it's a
Keep also the politician news or some
right.
horror Marcus or whatever. You will have a great sleep.
So try to give yourself a room, a space that's just dedicated to sleeping, right? I mean, the bed is arguably for really only two things: sleeping, resting, and the other, of course, making love, and that's it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there you go. All right, everybody, that wraps up for this week's episode.
And try to avoid coffee or alcohol. Also,
Well,
this is
oh, and food.
yeah, exactly. We didn't say
Tell it in the
that.
back. Let's
Exactly.
tell it in the back.
This is very important.
It is.
Go to bed almost like on empty stomach. It will be ideal because you will sleep like a baby. And try to avoid drinking coffee. Like for me, it was
Oh, most definitely.
I
Yeah, no
changed it
caffeine for
because
me.
yeah, I used to have like at 5, 6 o'clock sometimes, and
Now,
a nice espresso, Marcus. So I eliminate that
yeah,
because I realized that it wasn't great idea.
I
So
used to.
coffee until 2 o'clock, no later. 2 maybe 3 p.m. That's good.
Yeah, that's definitely a good one. I used to enjoy a little bit of alcohol in the evenings. Yeah, don't do that anymore, right? And I can tell you that even a little bit of alcohol in your evening meal, and as enjoyable as that might be, it will affect your quality of sleep. Okay, now that's mind you, if you have your regular meal around, let's say a lot of people have it at 7 p.m., you have a beer or a wine or whatever, and you go to bed by 11 p.m., believe it or not, it's not long enough. You need a longer, typically, period of time to digest that. The alcohol, unfortunately, does interfere with sleep. So just kind of keep that in mind. That might be a little hard for some people, but just that's a factor. So yeah. Now I think we're done.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're done. Yeah.
So to once again summarize this 5-part series. Number one,
80-20 rule.
and the 80-20 rule is to focus on 20% of the most important things because that will get you 80% of the results.
Exactly.
The second rule.
Pomodoro technique.
And the Pomodoro technique is 25-minute segments of studying with a 5-minute break. And the third?
Learn by doing.
Learn by doing, which is applying what you've learned in a real world situation. The fourth?
Be persistent.
Persistence. What's your motivation? Push through. Why are you doing whatever it is you're doing? In this case, learning Italian.
Yeah.
And the fifth, being this
Last but not least, is get enough sleep.
Sleep is awesome.
And quality sleep.
Quality sleep. That is
Yes,
the most critical
yes.
part of it. Everybody, that's it for the week. Thanks so much. Have a good morning, afternoon, or evening. And until the next time, cheers. Bye.